The Industrial Talk Podcast. Go big in just 6 minutes a day. Building a legacy of success in a rapidly changing industrial market.
All right, how are you guys doing out there? I'm doing well. This is Scott McKenzie with Industrial Talk Podcast. I'm so glad that you are here. Again, we don't have time to waste. Let's get going. We're going to be doing these quick snippets, 6 minutes a day, and I got you guys covered. I want to make sure that you guys are successful. And why we're doing Go Big is I want to make sure that you guys have all the tools necessary for you to make meaningful advances within your career each and every day. And we're going to just get right into it. And we're going to talk a little bit about mentors and the importance of mentors in your life. First off, you can't do it yourself. And secondly, you don't have all the answers. Mentors are fantastic. To share with you a couple of examples of mentors in my life. Of course, I've had plenty, and there's still more out there. Young, old, I don't really care. If they possess the information and they truly have a desire to help and have a focus on the betterment of, you or me or whatever, it's a very powerful and important component to your career. So, the first gentleman I want to really highlight, his name is Richard Harmon. Richard Harmon, Dick Harmon, Richard Harmon. And he was a foreman. And when I was an apprentice, he was formative in my career, right? He was formative in my apprenticeship going up as a journeyman lineman. And he always had truly my best interest. He challenged me each and every day, because sometimes the work was challenging. Climbing a 115-foot bare pole in the middle of a city, challenging. But he always knew what I could do and what I need to be trained on. He would always challenge me in my education, and he made me a very good journeyman lineman, to the point where I was running crews and working in very congested areas. And so he really formed that mindset, and he was very encouraging for me to go to school at night as well. And so that was an impact of a mentor in my life that created a career path for me that, quite frankly, that's why I'm here now and why I'm passionate about industry. The second gentleman is a gentleman that it was funny, because I went to school at night. I got my undergrad in business, and this gentleman's name is Tom Gibbs. And I remember him vividly, because what happened was there was an opening. I was still doing line work. I was still climbing towers. I was still climbing tall poles, but I got my degree, and I went into, of course, I looked at a posting, and fortunately, they called me in, and I said, "Oh my goodness, I okay." And at that time, I wasn't really good at interviews, or I didn't even know what to do, quite frankly, from a corporate point of view. But this was in corporate, and so I battled on down, and I went on down there, and there he was, Tom Gibbs, and he started to ask me questions about generation facilities. And he was saying, "Hey, can you find this thing on this map?" And I said, "Oh my gosh, no." And then what he did is he took the map and cut it in half. And he says, "Now, that thing is right here." And he said, "Can you find it now?" And I said, "No." Well, that went on for about 3 or 4 times, to the point where he folded the map so small that it was in the middle, right? It was in the middle of the map. And so I just took a swipe at it, and I said, there it was. So after that, I came home, and my wife said, "Well, hey, how did the interview go?" And I said, there is no way I'm going to get that position. And a couple of days later, I get a call. They said, "We want you on board." And from that point on, his door was always open. He was always a wealth of knowledge. He had tremendous insight into not just engineering, but also just how corporations ran. But the best part about him is he was always encouraging. He was always there for me. He was always positive. And once again, he was a gentleman that impacted my path to where I am today. And so my challenge to you, everybody out there, is one, first off, make it a point this moment, right now, to identify a couple of individuals that need to be a part of your mentor approach. It's important. And it's not, quote, coaching. It is truly a desire, a philanthropic desire to make you better in what you do, right? And that's what's so cool. And that's what's so important, is that a mentor type of relationship is vital, because you need that insight. And then the other challenge I want you to consider is being a mentor for other people. So find mentors. It's important. You need to do it and be a mentor. You give without expecting anything in return. That is the premise behind a mentor. And so for me personally, do that. That is job number one. Find a mentor, be a mentor. Because I'm telling you right now, it is the most rewarding thing that I've ever done and I've ever experienced. And it has no bearing on age. Because, being in this digital realm, I'm telling you right now, there's a lot of young pups that know a lot more than I do. So we are going to wrap it up. I really appreciate your time. Now we're going to continue on, right? The next couple of classes that we're going to be, or the programs of the 6-minute days, we're going to be talking about know, like, trust, right? Plus caring and friendship. That equals success. That is vitally important to your career. So get out there, find a mentor, be a mentor, and don't let me down. So thank you very much. Go big. Do not shy away. Go big in 2019.